Red Sox, more like swept socks. You know, sometimes you say something that's like genuinely thought provoking or entertaining or well thought out and put together, and other times you make me want to walk into the ocean. I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about the Astros versus Red Sox series where the Astros sweep the Boston Red Sox 3-0 up in Boston in probably the best overall series the Astros have played this season. They had really good pitching. They had some really, really good defensive plays. Cough, cough, Chas McCormick in particular, might I say. They had unbelievable offense, and they, for 3 games, just kind of ate Boston alive. Ironically, the closest game didn't even feel close. The closest game being 5-4. It felt like the Astros game. Brian Abreu came in, almost coughed it up, but like it was such a dominating performance from Arrighetti, it never really felt like they were going to lose that game. It was easily the best series of the season for the Astros. And on either side of that game, you have a couple of games that just, they ran the score up on them. Ironically, the first game where they won by 4 runs was the closest game. It was the only time in the entire series where they trailed Boston, and it was only for 4 innings. Dude, like it is quite entertaining. And for the majority of those innings, it wasn't even bad. It was 2-1 for a bit, and then it was 3-1, and then very quickly it was no longer a deficit. It was the advantage, being up 5-3. That's really where the series is for me. The Astros got on the board first, ironically, in that game, and led for an inning with a double play from Yordan Alvarez that still sent home a run. So, you know how I said earlier in the season that when you're like a bad team and the only way you score runs, it feels insulting, and when you're a good team and you score runs with outs, it's like, oh man, even our outs are productive? Even our outs are productive right now, guys. That's where we're back in the mindset of. They trailed for a while until the 7th inning. Jose Altuve with a 2-run shot. Jose Altuve, man, he had a very good series. A lot of guys had very good series. Also, side note that I was talking about on the Discord server. You guys should go join the Discord server, by the way. The link is going to be in the description yet again. Altuve is batting like 304, probably a little bit higher right now because he had a hit against the Rays. Probably like closer to 305. On basing over 350. His OPS is like over 800, and we're like, man, yeah, it's a bit of an offseason from Altuve. Like, an 800 OPS out of a second baseman is great. That is so fantastic. And we're talking about it like, yeah, you know, he's doing fine. A little bit of a down year. And not even to, like, take away from Altuve. That's just a testament to how unbelievable he's been his entire career. To where, like, a very good season, an all-star caliber season for Jose Altuve is like, oh, you know, maybe he'll pick it up in the postseason. Like, it's bonkers with Altuve. He also had an RBI single from John Singleton to make it 4-3, and then Jeremy Pena with an RBI single to make it 5-3. Those all came in the same inning. 9th inning, you get a home run from Yordan Alvarez, or pardon me, a double from Yordan Alvarez. Kind of lost track because, you know, he hit a couple more home runs before that series was over with. Then you get a home run from Yainer Diaz to make it 8-3. You give up one more run on a fielder's choice in the 9th inning, but again, that was probably the closest game of the series, which is insane to say because you won it by 4. Second game, again, it never really felt particularly close, man. You had Yordan Alvarez with a pair of home runs in that game, and then you had the absolute masterclass from Spencer Arrighetti. Phenomenal. Simply phenomenal. 13 Ks, he made 2 mistakes all day, and unfortunately both of them were hit out of the field. He was marvelous. Genuinely. 7 innings, a 2-run ball with 13 Ks to 1 walk, dude. He was lights out. He was dominating. And you could tell that from the fact that a guy with an over 5 ERA, after giving up another home run in a game, that was still, you know, it wasn't a blowout by any means. They could have made it a lot closer. They're just like, no, let him ride. He's at 12 strikeouts. What are they going to do? It's his second hit of the game. And they were right to do that because he came out and struck the last guy out to get number 13 on the day and then leave the game. A magnificent performance. I said this with McCullers being injured, that like with that gone, you've lost a bit of the juice, and why I also think it's such an important thing to re-sign Bregman, because you kind of need that juice. He needs to get a little bit better, because out of a dude with a 5 ERA, it can be read the wrong way. If he can really start to tighten it up down the stretch, and if he can tighten it up in the playoffs, dude, Arrighetti might be the juice pitcher that the Astros could use. Like, he might be the guy that in Minute Maid Park doesn't even necessarily have to be like a gem performance. If he can get some big-time strikeouts, keep games winnable, if he's getting them strikeouts, they might have their energetic Lance, give me a hell yeah coming off the mound type of guy in Arrighetti, which I would not be opposed to seeing that come postseason. Also, in that game, you have a pair of home runs from Yordan Alvarez because, why wouldn't you do that? Again, shout out to Noah, longtime friend of the channel, who very recently was like, man, it feels like it's been forever since Yordan's hit a home run. I want to say he's hit like 5 since that text message. So, complain about different players more, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. Genuinely, it really, really helps. Then you go into the final game of the series where the Astros just kind of beat Boston into the dirt. It wasn't close. It was 10-2. You had home runs from Bregman. You had Alvarez hitting a home run. You had Pena hitting a homer. I believe just about everyone in the starting lineup ended their day with hits. Yeah, all but 2 players in the starting lineup ended up with hits. You had Altuve with 3. You had Bregman with 2 and 3 RBI. You had Diaz with a hit and a pair of RBIs. You had Pena with 3 hits and a pair of RBI on the day. It was dominating, and the big performers from that series, you have Altuve over the 3 games with 4 hits, 2 RBI, a home run. Bregman had 7 hits over the weekend, which is bonkers, and a pair of home runs for him. Yordan had 6 hits and 2 home runs with 4 RBIs. Yainer Diaz had 4 hits and 4 RBIs over the series. Dezenzo. I'm going to get it eventually. Dezenzo would hit his first home run over the series, which is super cool. Hopefully he got it. Probably not, though, because I'm pretty sure it went over the monster, which is super, super unfortunate for him. And Pena in the final game of the series. 3 hits, pair of RBIs, home run in that game. Nothing too shabby out of him. And then you get a couple of great performances out of Arrighetti. You get a great one out of Hunter Brown with 5 1/3, 2 runs given up. Struck out 9. Very, very solid performance out of Brown. The fact that Blanco continues to kind of struggle does give me a little bit of trepidation. I can't lie. But I'm going to put all of my hope into the bank of he'll figure it out. The Astros are now taking on the Rays for a 3-game series over in Tampa. The first game is currently happening. The Astros have a 6-1 lead in that, by the way. The next 2 games will be tomorrow and then Wednesday evening, both at 6:50. They'll have an off day Thursday. Probably when the video is going to come out is going to be late Thursday or possibly Friday because I'm getting ready to head over to Tampa. Unfortunately, not to go watch the Astros, but fortunately to go see Zach Bryan. So, you take what you can get. I'm not going to lie. So, that video will be coming out after this series is over with. Hopefully it is just as positive as this one. And if the first game is any indication, that should be about where we're at. But as for right now, that is all I have to say. One last time, I will plug before the video is over with the Discord server. It'll be a link down in the description. Join it. Come chat with us. It's been super fun talking with some of you guys already. Like, genuinely, it's been a lot of fun. And you get to watch me rage about the Jets more, which, the season hasn't even started yet. And we're already talking about that stuff because Hassan Reddick decided to go do some fun stuff in training camp and demand another trade after demanding a trade that got him to the Jets in the first place. Can you tell it's not my first year watching this team? Anyway, as for right now, that is all I have to say, so if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.